The Commanders are interviewing the son of one of their franchise legends for a vacant coaching position. Also, a couple of experts have predicted two marquee signings in free agency for the team. Who are they and what would they bring to the roster? Let's talk about it. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Full Command Show. My name is Grant Mitchell, and in today's video, it's going to be kind of wholesome. We're going to talk about the Commanders reaching out to interview the son of one of their former legends before we turn the page and talk yet again about what marquee free agents this team could look to sign to bolster their roster heading into the new season. So, before we jump into that, make sure you guys hit the like button. As always, subscribe if you are new around here, and make sure you jump down in the comment section and leave me your thoughts on everything we talk about in this video. This first topic here, I'm especially interested to know your thoughts, because on one hand, you don't want nepotism to exist. You want people to be qualified. You want the best people in the best positions. But then on the other hand, having a connection to the team is important. You understand the tradition. You understand the heritage. This regime has done a good job of staying connected to those roots. They gave Gabe Taylor a tryout. Obviously, Sean Taylor's little brother. They have done things the right way from that perspective. So I guess I'll just go ahead and I'll say the name, and we'll see if you can figure out who this player is connected to. This person is connected to, rather. The Commanders have requested to interview Falcons quarterback coach DJ Williams for their vacancy at the quarterback coaching position. Any idea who DJ Williams is connected to? It's probably not going to take very long to figure it out. That is correct. He is the son of the one and only Mr. Doug Williams, who of course has been very active in Ashburn since this new regime came in. Again, sticking with that theme of doing things the right way and staying connected to the roots. Having Joe Gibbs come talk to the team during training camp. Retiring Santana Moss's, or putting him up in the Ring of Honor. Doug Williams constantly being in the building. Darrell Green constantly being in the building, announcing our draft picks out in Kansas City. So, just little things like that. And I'm going to say right now, I don't think this is fully, he's related, so I guess we got to give him an interview. Do I think it hurt him? Not at all, because I don't see how that could hurt you. But I'll be honest, I don't know much about Mr. DJ Williams here, so let's review his resume. So his career, he was a quarterback at Grambling State under his dad's coaching from 2011 to 2014. He bounces around, he tries to get some tryouts and things like that, but end up on practice squads. Eventually, in 2017, he turns to coaching and working in the front office. He works in operations department in 17 and 18. He then becomes an offensive assistant for the Saints in 2019, which he stays at all the way until 2023. He is then promoted to the assistant quarterbacks coach for the Atlanta Falcons in 2024 and the head quarterbacks coach for the Falcons in 2025, which is where he currently presides, which is why we did have to request the interview instead of just straight up interviewing him. So if I'm being fair here, which I always try to be, might be wrong, but I try to be fair, Michael Penix Jr., who I was very high on before the draft, has not progressed. That's worrying since DJ Williams has a relatively limited resume. And as someone who's 28 years old and is trying to progress in the workforce, I understand the frustrations of having a limited resume compared to some of your competition and feeling you can do a better job than them. So maybe I'm falling victim to this myself. Maybe DJ Williams is a genius and he just hasn't had an opportunity to really show it. But Michael Penix, why don't I pull up his numbers here? So Michael Penix Jr. last year as a rookie played in 5 games, completed 58% of his passes, 775 yards, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. This year, in 9 starts, he completed 60% of his passes for 1,982 yards per game. So we're looking at like 230 per game, something like that. 9 touchdowns, 3 interceptions with a QBR of 57.6. Again, I don't think Michael Penix is very good this year, and that's disappointing because he has a bunch of arm talent. Also, I have no clue how he's going to bounce back from a third torn ACL. This guy might just be done playing football, and it might have been a total waste of a top 10 pick for the Falcons. But DJ Williams, again, I don't really know much about the guy. He doesn't have a long resume. I'm not really going to go look at I'm not going to go look at the Saints offensive numbers from when he was an assistant there. And I don't really know if he's responsible for Michael Penix's failure to progress or what. I just don't know. And that's how I feel about a lot of these candidates that have come up in the Commanders coaching search. Now, there was a controversial moment earlier this year involving DJ Williams, but it started because Michael Penix Jr. said during a press conference that he leans on his former coaches and his fiance for support. They were the people who were backing him. Well, the media took that and they used it to say Michael Penix Jr. did not say the Falcons coaches are the ones supporting him when he needs it. This gets back to Raheem Morris, who of course was the head coach there. He calls it out, says it's nonsense. Penix was offered the opportunity to clarify the comment later on. He didn't. He declined to do that. All he said was everyone in the Falcons facility knew the truth. Now, Williams said that he talked to Penix in the Falcons quarterbacks more than he spoke to his own children. He said, quote, I don't even pay attention to it, to be honest with you. As long as we know, everything else is just elevator music. So that's all I could dig up for you. And I wanted to do my best. I wanted to look through and see what I could find, but that's what I got. If you guys are successful in finding more than that, then feel free to let me know in the comment section. I will, sometimes I pinned a comment in my video yesterday because someone had something really insightful. If you've got something like that, feel free to leave it below and I will pin it for everybody to read. Let's move over to the free agency talk. Two big names that two reputable authorities / entities have linked to the Commanders. So we'll start with NFL analyst Aaron Schatz, who predicted that the Commanders would sign Breece Hall. And I think I've referenced this man before because I remember saying Aaron Schatz. That's just quite the unfortunate surname. If someone could say you're Schatz yourself. Anyway, he has predicted the Commanders will sign Breece Hall. Who is Breece Hall? He's still only 25 years old. He's younger than Bill and CRod. He's younger than our rookie, well, was a rookie, whatever we're calling him now that the season's over, despite being or approaching his second contract in the NFL. And he's younger than CRod, who was drafted in 2023. Now, the Commanders lost some juice out of their backfield when they lost Austin Ekeler, who added some things as a runner, but was also a big pass catcher. That was really good for the style of offense that we are running. Is that going to change under David Blau? Who knows? But neither Bill nor CRod are very good pass catching backs. That's why we turn to Jeremy McNichols a lot of the time. That's not an issue for Breece Hall, who last year ran for 1,065 yards and 4 touchdowns on 4.4 yards per carry, but he also caught 36 passes for 350 yards and a touchdown. He had 57 receptions last year and 76 the year before that. Now, Breece Hall, like a lot of players, has been a victim of the Jets just being horrific, but he is a good player. You look at the advanced numbers, he does a very good job. And he's multi-talented. Again, he can catch it out of the backfield. He can run between the tackles. He's explosive. He's shifty. He's just a good player overall. Now, Breece Hall is expected to earn the largest contract of all free agent running backs in this upcoming cycle. So, big question mark there. Do you want to dish out that kind of money to a free agent running back? Here's some alternatives that I wrote down. And it doesn't, whoever we signed, if we do sign someone, doesn't have to be one of these guys. Just wanted to let you know some other names that are out there as possibilities. Kenneth Walker, who is a power back, but he can be shifty in the open field. Rachaad White, also a bit of a power guy. He's done with the Buccaneers. He's made that very clear. He has posted pictures of him and Jaden Daniels together at Arizona State. It does seem like he wants to be here. He's also a power back, but he's a good pass catcher as well. Javonte Williams was another one of these weird guys who they're a big bruiser, but they're also a pass catching back. Had a phenomenal year with the Cowboys this year, had been pretty awful the 2 years before that. So was this a one-hit wonder season for him, or was this just getting him in the right environment and good things happen for him? Travis Etienne, 1,000 yards rushing in 3 of 4 professional seasons, 35 plus catches in all 4 seasons. Rico Dowdle, who is a power back and has had some really big games. There's a 2-game stretch where he had 200-something yards and then 180 the next week. And then Tyler Algier, who is a productive player, had 1,000 yards as a rookie for the Falcons. He's more of a between-the-tackles guy, but he can get you some good gains, soften up the interior of the defense for the big explosive plays on the outside. So that's the running back. Now let's talk about maybe the most controversial position on the Commanders' entire roster, linebacker. Bleacher Report's Christopher Knox said the Commanders need to make a play for Jaguars linebacker Devin Lloyd. According to Mr. Knox here, Lloyd is the number 7 free agent that is available, including all positions. He has him projected to make a 3-year, $51 million contract. $51 would be quite the steal. 3 years, $51 million. Here's what he said, quote, Jaguars linebacker Devin Lloyd never quite lived up to his draft status before the 2025 season. However, the 2022 first-round pick certainly made the most of his contract year. Despite missing time with a calf injury, Lloyd racked up 81 tackles, 1.5 sacks, 7 passes defended, 14 pressures, and 5 interceptions, while allowing an opposing passer rating of only 56.4 in coverage. Teams will have to determine how much of Lloyd's 2025 breakout campaign was the result of contract motivation. There's also another variable that plays into this, which is Lloyd will turn 28 next September, which is not old, but that $17 million per year figure that the projected contract suggests he could land would tie Zach Bond for the 4th most in the NFL on a per year basis among linebackers. So a guy who would be crossing into the 30s and the back end of the contract, is that something that Adam Peters would be willing to do? A lot of general managers out there are really staying away from these players in their 30. The Commanders had the oldest average aged roster in the NFL at 28 something, and Adam Peters made it a point that he wants to get younger in this free agency. Now, I'll start by saying this. A 28-year-old is not old. A 28-year-old average age is old, but 28-year-old is not old, despite that sounding a little contradictory. Getting younger. Well, going from 35-year-old Bobby Wagner to 28-year-old Devin Lloyd is getting younger by quite some margin. That's 7 years. So I don't know if that's quite what he had in mind, but this is a very good player. He was a second-team All-Pro this year, first time getting that honor in his professional career. Some more options for the linebackers, just like I did with the running backs. Just want to read you off some more candidates that the Commanders could consider here. And just for the sake of it, I only wrote down players under 30 years old. So Nakobe Dean, who's only 25 years old, Quay Walker, who's also 25, Quincy Williams, Devin Bush, Leo Chenal, Devin White, just to name some. Of these guys, Nakobe Dean or Quay Walker would be outstanding. Quay Walker is my number 1 request. That's probably, if I'm correct in assuming the Commanders are drafting an edge rusher, and if they draft Caleb Downs, then I would go, if Derek Moore from Michigan's on the board in the 3rd round, that's a guy I would look at. There's a couple of others, but I'm getting off track here. The Commanders can't count on fixing their roster in the draft because it happens after free agency. So you need to be prepared to cover all of your holes in free agency, and then you can just stack talent on top of that with the draft. So looking at the edge rusher market, I don't know if there's a guy worth spending tons of money on, and we need an edge rusher, we do. But we're in a good position to draft a guy pretty high, whether it's David Bailey, whether it's Ruben Bain, whoever it is, however this shakes out. I think it could be one of those guys, and there's just not very attractive free agent edge rushers on the market right now. So I think putting a lot of money into getting a really good linebacker is something the Commanders should seriously consider. And Quay Walker, like I said, is at the top of my list. If it's Devin Lloyd, like the article pointed out, you would have to discern, was this contract motivation or not? We've seen that with Deron Payne. Plenty of teams have seen it with plenty of guys. So that's a question that you have to figure out there and a hurdle that you have to get over. But I do think there is merit to upgrading both of these positions, running back and linebacker. Pretty much every position on the Commanders could be upgraded right now. They're not touching the quarterback, and they're not touching the offensive line. Other than that, pretty much everything is, it's open season. So we'll see what happens. But that's going to do it for this video today. I might be back later today just because I've really enjoyed getting the videos out recently. I don't know what it is. I've just been on a kick. So I appreciate you guys appreciating the content here. Appreciate you showing support, liking the video, subscribing, leaving your thoughts, all that great stuff. Make sure you do throw your thoughts down below, by the way. Every time I say I look forward to reading your comments, I hope you could tell from the amount of people that I reply to, I genuinely do. I'll be at the gym in between sets, and I'm reading up on what the comments said and responding to people. So anyway, it's just awesome. I love that we have that relationship in this community. I'm going to head out of here. I appreciate y'all joining me, and I will catch you in the next one. Have a great day.